Good evening and welcome to the Gothic Bohemian Salon. This is Jwlhyfer. So tonight I have a review of the Dark Garden Rummage sale. Went to the Dark Garden Rummage sale today, and that was absolutely wonderful. I had a great time. It's almost more of an open house than a rummage sale. That was definitely a sale. They invite people who have corsets from Dark Garden that no longer fit, or they're just, people are just ready to let them go to a new home or something like that. You can bring in and consign your old corsets or your used. I hate to use used or old in the context of corsets because I mean, these are very wonderful, intense garments, and I don't think of used corsets in that way as you think of other used clothing. I think of them as works of art to be passed to another person. So I had a couple things on consignment. Very happy to say that they sold, which I'm very excited about. I was just so happy to see them go to new homes. They've been sitting in my closet for years. I can't fit into them anymore. I used to corset train down to 18 1/4 inches, and I haven't done that in quite a long time. So but I'm getting down there. Actually, I'm getting it's things are decreasing. But anyway, the sale. So basically they have the consignment corsets. Then they had some costumey kind of things that I guess people had brought in or they found amongst their old stock. And then they had a whole bunch of made up, ready to wear things from their their regular line or whatever. So they had basically every style in the different sizes, and their try-on corsets as well. And I believe that everything was it was either 10%, I think it was 10% off on everything like that. And then if you placed an order, a prepaid order for a custom-made corset, you got 10 or 15% off your entire order, which is great. And then they had some other things in the store that were 10% off some of their clothing, for example. So there were a lot of people there. It was a very kind of almost festive atmosphere. I'd say there was, oh dear, 40 or 50 people coming in and out, and yeah, maybe more. It was pretty crowded. I went with my friend Max, who you've met before. Max tried on a beautiful little men's, I think it was a men's corset, corset that had, it's rather short and small, little kind of waist cincher, had little welt pockets made out of tweed, I want to say, or some kind of more masculine fabric, and that looked great on him, really, really great. It was a 23, and he actually had it open in the back. I probably shouldn't tell Max's secrets that way, but he's been growing, so Max is going to turn 18 pretty soon, actually, which is exciting. Anyway, I don't think he'll mind me telling you that. Why would he? Anyway, I tried on a couple of things to see, how I like them. There was a beautiful burgundy peony Chinese brocade corset, underbust corset that I tried on. I think I've tried it on before. It was a little bit uncomfortable, actually. I found the boning in this area just sat on me in a really kind of odd way. It didn't really quite work. And, that happens, in every, particularly ready-to-wear corsets aren't going to necessarily fit you right off. Sometimes you have to find the style that works for you the best. And I did, actually. They have a new style. Gosh, I'm trying to remember what it's called, and I feel like such a bad YouTuber for not remembering. I'm looking around because there's some, I'm wondering if I have a Dark Garden catalog anywhere. No, this doesn't say what kind of corsets are on here. Well, it's their latest design, and it's quite lovely. It actually is partially see-through, so it's made of a very strong kind of netting, or I don't even know what to call it, but very, very strong material. But it doesn't look strong. It looks very delicate and lovely. And I tried on a sort of pale creamy pink version. They're bound with the bias binding, and then the boning channels, of course, are covered, and then you can see the waist tape through the corset, and that's made to match the color as well. And then this one had garters, which we just kind of tucked in underneath to kind of see, what it looked like that way. And it felt great. It was very, very comfortable and fit just wonderfully. So yeah, that was quite wonderful. And they come in black, red, and I guess the pinkish color. The pink one kind of looks like ballerina sort of stuff, The black one's got this really sultry, sexy thing going, and of course the red is sort of, more risque and exciting. So that was one of the styles that I got really excited about today. Of course, they also have the collaboration with Dolly Mop, yeah. So there were some things by them. There's some very steampunk designs I noticed, things with leather and kind of suspenders going on, and there's a masculine style that's actually basically a waistcoat, but it's a corset. So underneath the double-breasted waistcoat in the front, I believe is a busk and the whole 9 yards, and then in the back I think it laces up, and it's all boned for men, and it's a wonderful militaristic thing for men who want to cut a fine figure, wonderful thing to wear to some of the balls that happen around, particularly around the Bay Area, but anywhere that has some of those vintage dance things. The proprietor of the shop used to be a dancer, well, still dances actually, and she's very aware of, and she's made a lot of dancing costumes, so she's very aware of how to make things so that you can move in them. So her corsets aren't stiff and difficult to move around in. They're actually quite it's quite easy to move around in them. So, I think the best thing for me going to this was seeing all the people, and kind of catching up with people, and then just seeing all the styles and being able to try them out and see what might be right for you. You could buy things that day, and if I had had, a few $100s to throw around, I probably would have picked something up, definitely, or maybe two things. The one thing I really like about the shop too is they have hats by a company called House of Nines, and these are some of the most beautiful hats I've ever seen. They're handmade in San Francisco, sourced locally and all that, and they're made out of the rabbit skin felt, and have these beautiful feathers that are hand curled, and just exquisite hats. Really, really nice. And then there's ones that are more like little confections that sit on your head, and those are just lovely as well. So I had a lovely time. I was really happy to be able to get down there. Max and I hadn't seen each other in a while, so it was great to hang out, and all in all, it was a terrific day. In any case, thank you so much for joining me in the Gothic Bohemian Salon. Have a good evening and good night.